The storm damaged close to 30 homes and buildings overnight in Williamson County.
Reports from the National Weather Service indicate two small tornadoes touched down in southeastern Williamson County, one of them possibly an EF2. We want to get right to Jim Spencer now, who is joining us with more on these storms and the damage they left behind. Jim?
Yes, I mentioned to you a moment ago, this all started down in the San Antonio area, and those storms moved to the north and northeast very, very rapidly. In fact, so quickly. There was a lot of storm damage, not all of it tornado damage. But as you mentioned, the National Weather Service, which is still doing a storm survey right now up here in the Thrall area in eastern Williamson County, has preliminarily told us that they believe these were probably EF2 tornadoes. Those are not major tornadoes, but they're getting up there. EF0, EF1, EF2, the classification all the way up to 5. And so it's a strong tornado. And this is not today. This is what the radar looked last night as these storms raced to the northeast at times as fast as 70 miles per hour. That's why we saw so much in the way of wind damage. If indeed these are confirmed to have been EF2 tornadoes, which again, the Weather Service tells us that is what they are finding and believe that they have found preliminarily. That means the tornadoes up in the Thrall area, near Thrall, damage was in several places up there, will have been because of a tornado producing 111 to 135 mile per hour winds somewhere in that time frame. As you can see, we don't have the exact mileage yet because they are still out there doing that survey right now.
Is live off County Road 445 between Taylor and Thrall with a look at some of the damage there, Lauren.
Right, Shannon. Well, Jim had mentioned earlier in the newscast about the possible EF2 tornadoes. The spot that I'm at right now is where some silos are. This is where I met the National Weather Service just recently and learned that information. And I want to explain to you why they think possibly two tornadoes touched down, one of them in this area. A silo that used to be located right here behind me, if you come this way, is now located across the street in the opposite corner. There was another silo across from me directly this way, which is now located here across the street. So you can see sort of that rotational pattern here as opposed to straight line winds pattern. That's why they believe this is a tornado at this point and might have been EF2. Of course, businesses here, this is corn in those silos, obviously affected here. A lot of families saw damage as well.
You're going to be coming home to something that looks similar to a war zone and a little more than I anticipated.
This is the first time Larry Robbins is seeing the damage to his property on County Road 427 in southeast Williamson County.
And there's the insulation from the roof behind us.
He and his wife were out of town when the storm hit.
Yeah, there's a roof. It's gone.
Parts of it in the yard and across the street. Their family's barn next door destroyed.
At one point last night, they thought maybe about going there for safety, but they said they couldn't make it. And I said, well, I'm glad you didn't make it.
A few miles west, crews spent the day trying to get a train off its side after strong winds flipped 12 railroad cars on US 79 east of downtown Thrall. Twisted metal from shredded silos scattered across property near Noack. The cleanup will continue for days, and emergency responders have a message for the curious who want to get close to all the damage.
Our urge is for folks to stay home, let us get out there and take care and remove the hazards, get the power company out to remove the hazards before they go out and get curious, and potentially get themselves into a bind.
The National Weather Service still should be out here surveying. They said they'd be out in this area until it gets dark, but they still have to issue their final report, which we expect either tonight or tomorrow. Again, right now, just preliminary. They believe initial reports that there were two small tornadoes that touched down here in Williamson County. One of them, at least, they think an EF2. But once we find out the results of that final report, we'll bring you that information. Shannon, back to you.